In the news, unknown gunmen destroy Anambra Police Zonal Headquarters. Lawyers protest in Lagos and Abuja for judicial independence. Across Africa, Guinea receives purchase of 300,000 Sinovac COVID-19 vaccines. On the international scene, Greens to name candidates for Merkel's position. And in sport, 6 Premier League teams set to join Super League. Details shortly. This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. I am Abigail Okmade, and this is TOS News 360. The federal government of Nigeria has inaugurated the governing councils of 5 federal universities, namely the University of Lagos, the University of Port Harcourt, the University of Ibadan, Obafemi Awolowo University Ife, and the Maritime University Delta State. Speaking during the inauguration ceremony in Abuja, the Minister of Education, represented by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Sonny Enocho, called the newly appointed members to use their influence to seek alternative means of generating income to reduce overdependence on the government. He, however, added that their appointment is expected to quell all rising tensions and crises in the various institutions.
Poor management of funds remains a major operational constraint in the sector. The limited funds allocated by government should be judiciously utilized. As it is clear that government cannot provide all the funds required to run our universities, councils should think out of the box and endeavor to generate more revenue outside government allocations.
NUC has been fully acquainted with the circumstances leading to the dissolution of the governing councils of the universities of Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Ibadan. We have had cause to interact with the councils and management of the affected universities many times here in NUC with a view to finding solutions to the crisis undermining the operations of the institutions. We are happy that at last new councils signifying new beginnings are being inaugurated today.
All I can say, and I want to emphasize that, is clearly, and I want to promise you on behalf of my colleagues that we do not intend to become part of the problem. We are going into this happily, we are going into it committed, we are going into it ready to strain every nerve to ensure that we build.
Pan-Igbo socio-political organization Ohaneze Ndigbo on Monday expressed optimism that the Southeast would get the presidency in 2023, but one that many are called, few are chosen. The organization wondered why many people are beaming unnecessary attention on the negative issues of such as security challenges in the Southeast, because Igbo presidency has changed from probability to possibility. The President General of Ohaneze, Professor George Obiozo, stated this during a press conference in Abuja.
What are Igbos bringing? In fact, they are bringing visible and conspicuous achievements, capacity to turn difficulties, to turn these national difficulties into dividends for Nigeria, obstacles into opportunities. Let me tell you the truth. Nations are served by 2 kinds of events, either through leadership or through structure, none of which has worked in Nigeria. The Igbo man can change it. He's not a greedy man. He is also not a lazy man. Forget every perception you may have about the Igbos.
Members of the Nigerian Bar Association protested against the non-implementation of financial autonomy for the judiciary in Lagos State and Abuja. This is just after members of the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria started a nationwide protest. Some of the judicial workers converged at the gate of the Court of Appeal in Abuja on Monday as they chanted solidarity songs. TOS TV News reports that an order from the National President of NBA, Olumide Akpata, asked all state branches to stage a protest on Monday. The Tribe Africa organized a program focusing on improving the work skill of young people. TOS reporter Ife Onyekwere has the reports.
In a bid to add value to the activities of young people in Nigeria, the Tribe Africa organized a program titled Economic Re-Engineering Conference 2021, which was aimed at enhancing career paths of young people. The program was remarkable as it also sought to create job opportunities for young people, thereby helping in the reduction of unemployment rates in the country.
The torrential increase in youth unemployment in Nigeria is taking a toll on the country, as we believe that that is the cause of the increasing insecurity we are struggling with. We also believe that youth unemployment is one of the reasons why the country is at the verge of collapse, because young people are jobless and have time for frivolities. So what the conference aims to achieve is, first of all, ensure that young people are given a direction as to how they can accelerate their career. The conference is going to provide young people with people who have made it. So we intend that going forward, young people are going to connect with these persons, exchange ideas, and then be given guidance.
So we have a vibrant and robust community, the Tribe Africa, and so eventually they will be integrated into the community, where we will follow up, and see that they keep building their capacity in whichever area they decide to go, whether business or career or politics or whatever.
Participants were delighted as one who spoke to TOS TV News commended the organizers for their effort in helping young people actualize their dreams.
I want to also again use this time to commend the organizers of the event and the brain behind the conference. It takes idea to rule the world, and he has gone a long way to see that he put this together, and without sounding immodest, it is very sure that by the end of this conference, at least 50 jobs will be let out.
Ife Onyekwere.
This is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. You are watching TOS News 360. Stories across Africa in a moment. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. Across Africa, request for the release of former Chadian President Hissène Habré, sentenced to life imprisonment by an African court in Dakar for crimes against humanity, has been refused by the Senegalese judiciary, his lawyers said on Sunday. His lawyers filed a request for permission for his release on March 29. The reasoning used by the court to refuse permission is that the issue of health is the responsibility of the direction of the prison administration. Habré, who is 79 years of age, who was the leader of Chad from 1982 to 1990, was sentenced to life imprisonment on May 30th of 2016 after an unprecedented trial in Dakar that found him guilty of crimes against humanity, rape, execution, slavery, and kidnappings. Malawi's Labour Minister Ken Kandodo has been sacked and 14 senior officials arrested over the misuse and alleged embezzlement of COVID-19 funds, President Lazarus Chakwera said on Sunday. The president, in a televised address, said the action followed an audit he had commissioned to look into how the 6.2 billion Malawian kwacha, which is about $7.8 million of the country's COVID-19 response program, had been spent. There are no sacred cows, the president said, promising the arrest of more people within the civil service. To Equatorial Guinea, the west coast of Central Africa received on Sunday a shipment of 300,000 Sinovac COVID-19 vaccines purchased from China. Foreign Minister Ibrahim Khalil Kaba said the country is also set to receive a donation of 200,000 Sinopharm vaccines. He gave no further details of the Sinopharm donation. 93 new coronavirus infections on average each day is recorded in the country, with 21,460 infections and 138 coronavirus-related deaths reported since the pandemic began. Tanzania's newly sworn-in President Samia Suluhu Hassan has asked members of parliament to stop debates, comparing her with her predecessor, John Magufuli. Expressing her disappointment, President Samia urged the parliament to focus on the government's agenda rather than discuss her differences with the former president, who died last month from coronavirus complications, adding she was focused on continuing the work Magufuli had started. President Samia made this known when speaking at a national conference organized by religious leaders in memory of the late president, and to also pray for the new leaders. Now to the global scene. On Monday, Germany's Green Party chose Annalena Baerbock as the candidate to succeed Angela Merkel, going against the Chancellor's conservatives, who are locked in increasingly vicious infighting for her crown. The 40-year-old trained lawyer became the first Chancellor candidate for the party. Both Baerbock and her fellow co-chair Robert Habeck had converted the job to lead the party into elections on September 26. Baerbock has never held a government role and has been criticized for her lack of experience, raising doubts about her preparation for the election battle. This is your Digital First Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. You are watching TOS News 360. More stories from the global scene after the break. Thanks for staying tuned. You are still watching TOS News 360. The jury will hear a final appeal from both sides on Monday as the prosecution and defense in the murder trial of former Minneapolis officer Derek Chauvin for the death of George Floyd is set to round up. After 3 weeks of numerous testimonies, expert opinions, eyewitnesses' accounts, and video footage of the arrest, the jurors will provide both sides one last opportunity to be heard before Chauvin's fate is decided. The lawyers will present their closing arguments in the high-profile case. Prosecutors who alleged Chauvin killed Floyd on May 25 by putting his knee on the back of his neck for over 9 minutes will begin first. Reports late Sunday say 5 people were hospitalized after being shot and badly injured in a drive-by shooting at a liquor store in Shreveport, Louisiana. 4 people were outside the store while 1 person was inside when the shooting happened around 9 p.m. local time. The police said they were still investigating the incident without confirming the number of people admitted into hospital nor their health condition. The authorities described the injuries as life-threatening, with police on the lookout for a white Ford car. A police spokesman told reporters that police officers were responding to the traffic congestion reports when gunshots were heard. According to a local news media, 1 victim was shot in the head while another suffered multiple gunshots. Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Boris Johnson, has cancelled his visit to India as coronavirus cases in the country increase and a new variant scientists fear could prove partly resistant to vaccines emerges. Prime Minister Johnson was scheduled to meet Modi, Indian Prime Minister, next week, but cancelled the trip on Monday in the light of the current coronavirus situation. Johnson had been under pressure to cancel the trip and put India on UK's travel ban list after health authorities confirmed the country had 77 cases of a new variant first identified. It was reported that the decision to add India to the so-called red list is expected as soon as Monday. Now to business. Kenyan Port Authority has been commended by the Ugandan government for the port's infrastructural improvements, which has led to faster handling of cargo. During a courtesy call on the acting director of the Kenyan Port Authority, Rashid Salim, the new Uganda Consul General to Mombasa, Ambassador Paul Makumbia, said the facility played an important role in the bilateral relations of the two countries. The ambassador thanked the KPA management of the provision of high service standards and the responsiveness to issues brought up by the Ugandan business community. Business discussions were then held with the MD pertaining to plans on enhancing efficiency at the port of Mombasa and the Northern Corridor. Still in Kenya, to ensure the sugar exports from Uganda into Kenya are gotten from Ugandan factories, Kenya will now be expected to post trade facilitation officials in Uganda to gather information. In the previous years, Kenya trade officials refused to allow a section of Ugandan products into the country due to concerns that the goods did not meet the rules of origin and tariff obligations. Yoweri Museveni, Uganda's president, had a meeting with a delegation from Kenya to discuss the verification of the sugar sector. Uganda's acting permanent secretary of the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, Grace Adong, said the interactions between the two sides aim at building a strong regional bloc with fewer trade restrictions. This is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. You are watching TOS News 360. More stories in business and sports after the break. Do stay tuned. Thanks for staying tuned. You are still watching TOS News 360 on your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS TV. Now in the Best Countries Economic Resilience category, which features in the Best Movers subcategory of U.S. News Best Countries Annual Ranking, Egypt has been ranked third. This category purpose is to more or less predict the country's future growth in terms of per capita purchasing power and gross domestic product. For the second year in a row, the UAE has been ranked first in the category, followed by India. Overall, Egypt has been named the 33rd best country in the world, 8th in the heritage category, 51st in quality of life, 54th in social purpose, and 66th in open for business categories. Still in Egypt, Egypt's Minister of Trade and Industry, Naveen Gamia, has revealed that during the first quarter of 2021, Egypt's non-oil exports saw an increase of 6%. It reached $7.438 billion compared to $6.99 billion in the same period of 2020. There was also a slight increase of 2% during the first quarter of 2020 in Egyptian imports, and this contributed to a 1% decrease in trade deficits. The International Institute of Tropical Agriculture hosted an agricultural fair in Bukavu from 8th to 9th April with the theme Agriculture as Business, Source of Income for Smallholders Farmers in South Kivu. The objective was to highlight IITA's research contribution in favor of smallholder farmers in South Kivu. New high-yield rice varieties in the DRC and small agricultural machines replicable locally in the rice-growing system were highlighted and new fodder species were introduced. The project focused on support for women and youth, placing emphasis on agribusiness training in business agricultural value chains with partner support on business management. To entertainment, popular comedian and online skit producer Mr. Macaroni took to his Twitter account where he revealed the torment he faced when he was arrested by Nigerian police during the EndSARS protest. The protest followed a lot of Nigerians who were not in support of the Lekki toll gate after the October 20 Lekki shootings. Mr. Macaroni was among the Nigerians who took part in the protest against the reopening and was later arrested by police along with some other people who were in the protest. In a series of tweets, the comedian said the police took turns to beat him because he is Mr. Macaroni. He also stated he has plans of taking the case to court. According to him, the police are just criminals who make life unbearable for an average Nigerian. Music star and YBNL boss Olamide has announced the release of his new album after 8 months of releasing his last project titled Kapiadem. The popular artist took to his social media to announce his new work of art titled UY Scooty. This made fans of the YBNL boss very excited, referring to him as a legendary artist. The artist has announced June 14th as the set date for the album release. And in sports, 12 of football's clubs have faced accusations of greed and pessimism on Monday. This comes as they announced a breakaway European Super League that could have implications for the game. 6 of the Premier League teams include Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester City and Tottenham, alongside Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Juventus, Inter Milan and AC Milan. Most of the clubs are saddled with debt and large-weight bills and hit hard by the pandemic stand to benefit financially with predictions that they will share billions of euros. The clubs made their reaction known in a statement issued on Monday. And that is TOS News 360. For more updates, visit www.tostvnetwork.com to follow and like TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube to stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS TV Network. I am Abigail Okwade. Thanks for watching.
But we as a continent are now